Hello everyone. Butterfly Ross here. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. Please hit that subscribe button and don't forget to click the bell symbol so that you will not miss an upload. All right, here we go. I'm Roz, and on previous videos, if you've been watching, I mentioned that I was going to do a video on Angie Stone. I just wanted to get more information and see what comes out as far as what happened with Angie Stone. And instead of me speculating as to whether or not this was an accident or a hit, I'm going to I'm not I'm going to stay neutral on that because I wasn't there. So I would rather comment on Angie versus D'Angelo situation. First of all, this is a horrible tragedy. And my heart goes out to the family and friends, and especially Angie's son and daughter. I'm not sure what is up with D'Angelo. Um, I watched the funeral and the memorial service, and it was really beautiful how they arranged everything. It was really nice. And then there were a couple of celebrities that got up and shared, and family members and friends, and it was just really a nice send off. I don't know where she was at with the Lord, so I just hope and pray that she had given her life to Jesus and is resting in peace. But I was curious, as probably everyone was, as to whether D'Angelo was going to either make a statement or show up for the funeral or the memorial, and if he was going to speak. But I didn't see D'Angelo speak at all. So, and I was surprised, like everyone else, that he didn't attend. Um, so, but whatever has been going on between Angie Stone and D'Angelo, it's just speculation because we're on the outside looking in. Unless you know them personally, you're not us as fans, we're not going to know exactly what happened. And the social media, the different things that people are saying, is all speculation. And that situation between Angie Stone and D'Angelo, it seems complicated and it's personal. We know too much already. I really would rather just listen to their music and watch them perform and get nominated and different things like that. So, but when social media and paparazzi get so in deep in their lives and nosy and telling us exposing information that I'm sure neither Angie Stone or D'Angelo wanted to be put out there on blast. So we know too much about these celebrities. Too much is exposed, and then they become uncomfortable, and then we start speculating on things. But I understand that they chose to be celebrities. But do you know all of your doctor's business? Correct me if I'm wrong, but being a musician is a job just like being a doctor or being a lawyer, being a school teacher, Elon Musk, a businessman. Like, why is it that celebrities, we know who they baby mamas is, who broke up with who messed around with who have kids by this person? Like, we don't know that information about other people. But hey, correct me if I'm wrong. I know there's certain things that you give up being a celebrity. But anyway, it still seems unfair. They're still people just like us. So I really, really liked D'Angelo and Angie Stone's music. I really did love their music and their style, and really have much respect for their gifts and the talent. So, with D'Angelo, he seems to be a very, very private person, and he does not like to be the center of attention or put on the spot. So, he may have chosen to not attend the funeral, and also because of all the gossip and the things about their relationship and how Angie was treated when D'Angelo's fame started and his career started um, being on fire. All of a sudden, she was like tossed away like the ashes. So, so maybe that made him awkward about coming to the Funeral. He may have chosen to not attend because of that. But I pray that he will call his son at least and have compassion. I mean, you loved or at least liked Angie Stone at one time. So is she your enemy? So if and if you feel like, hey, you and Angie were not really on speaking terms, okay, that's between you and her. But she's not here anymore. And it seems like, I don't know, it seems like because he and Angie had differences, that maybe he also kind of took that out on their son together. Like anything connected to her, he didn't want any parts of it. But this is the son that you and Angie created together. Your son still deserves to have a father. He already lost his mother. Now I'm just saying that. I don't know these people. I don't know um Swable Twain. Which, by the way, what y'all think about that name? I feel like Bugs Bunny when I'm saying that name. I hope that I haven't really heard his music, but I hear that D'Angelo and Angie's son is really, really getting into his music career. But the only good thing, my opinion now, I'm not hating, The only good thing about that name, Swabo Twain, is that when you see that name, you know who they're talking about. But at the same time, I'm like, dude, just like Barry Gordy told the Temptations before they were the Temptation, is to come up with a better name. I think you need to come up with a better name. I mean, that's just my opinion. You ain't got to listen to my opinion. But I think Swabo Twain, I, I don't understand where that name came from. I think you need a more attractive name than that. Just my opinion. But anyway, I think that D'Angelo, he needs to at least have compassion for his son. His son, he just lost his mother. Now, I don't know if D'Angelo's parents are still alive, but can you imagine how it feels to lose your mother? And his son is still young. So, he needs to know that you care, D'Angelo. The father needs to initiate this. It can't be a thing where you're sitting there and you're waiting for him to call you. It's like, well, he knows where I am. No. You're the father. He's an adult too, yes. But I think he would appreciate some more initiation on your part as the father, because he needs to feel wanted and cared about. Maybe you can find comfort in one another. I'm sure maybe you feel guilt over what happened between you and his mother. And also maybe you think the family hates you. So you didn't show up for the funeral or the um at all because maybe you felt like you weren't welcome. Even if they sent you an invitation, maybe you hadn't talked to her family since you and her were broken up. I know us as fans, we don't know what's going on behind closed doors. The media does not know everything. But I hope that you do the right thing and forget all the past. And don't worry about what the rest of the family thinks. This is your son. And I'm sure if Angie was still alive, she would want you to reach out to your son. He needs you right now. I saw the video footage of him just kind of, I don't know. I could tell that he's very, very affected by this. He was saying things, about talking to her on the phone. And I guess it really, uh, you face the reality of this when those phone calls stop happening. You try to call that number and you realize she's gone. That's a very painful thing to have to go through, and to go through it alone. I don't know if your son has a significant other, if he lives alone. I mean, I know he has a sister, but she's probably going through her own thing. Any animosity that you may have had in the past, maybe between you and your son, well, that should be buried right now. Start over with your son. Give him that agape love that God gives us every day. That agape love is unconditional. It's unconditional. It God loves us knowing all the evil thoughts in our mind, all the secrets, the shameful secrets that nobody else knows. God knows everything, all of those things, and yet He still has that agape love for us. So we should definitely be able to forgive one another and love one another. Um, people people speaking badly about D'Angelo, I know we all expect him to do a tribute or something. I know I've been looking every other day. I'm typing in D'Angelo and Angie Stone, hoping that I would see a beautiful tribute, because I've never really seen them together actually ever. Not in any videos, like side by side together. I've seen pictures, but and I never really see any videos of him even acknowledging or speaking about her. She talks about him. So, but even though we all expected him to do a tribute or something, we have to give him the benefit of the doubt also. I mean, maybe he wanted to do a tribute, but was devastated and mourning her death himself. Even though they were not together, they had a relationship. So, unless you have a heart of stone, no pun intended, how could you not have any feelings for this woman who gave you your first child, who it seems like she sacrificed her career for yours? She was there in the beginning. Now, will you be there in the end? But like I said, we have to give D'Angelo the benefit of the doubt. Maybe he himself is an emotional wreck and he has to pull himself together so he can try to be there for his son. You can't help somebody else until you take care of yourself. It doesn't seem like they have much of a relationship. But Angie Stone died, and that's unfortunate. What a big loss. So, but if it is awkward for D'Angelo to try to be a father, you got to push that aside and just be uncomfortable, because this is too important. You don't want your son to go down a path of depression, because the devil's going to be right there waiting to be his father. And maybe you felt some guilt over what happened between you and Angie Stone. But then the best way you can redeem that is to make sure it doesn't happen with your son. He's your flesh and blood. You can't allow pride and selfishness and a hardened heart to get in the way. We don't know everything going on in the family, though. Angie was a very strong woman, a very brave woman to endure the humiliation, the body shaming, but still get out there and perform. I'm sure she had times where she cried a lot and she was hurt and humiliated, but she still got back on her feet and went out there and still pursued her career of music, of doing music. And she performed and was on stage whether she was large or small. And I did notice fluctuations in her weight. And she said she had health problems. So, but despite all of that, struggling with her health, struggling with her weight, having people make fun of her, pretty much call her ugly and not good enough to be with D'Angelo. And then to have her walk behind him and hire Vivica Fox. I mean, I don't know what Angie Stone looked like at that time. I am aware that she is older than he is. But either way, and she was pregnant, I believe. But they still didn't have to throw that in her face. He didn't have to have a date at all. I'm sure that there are celebrities that show up with no date. All he had to do was walk in there. I think that it was bad enough that they didn't want Angie and D'Angelo seen together, but to also hire Vivica Fox to be his date, that's a double slap in the face. Especially to replace her with what the standard for what was beautiful. And at the time, Vivica Fox was very young and very thin and considered attractive, and she was attractive. She was very attractive. And anyway, but she got out there. She did those videos. She kept doing music. She was touring. She was speaking in videos. And as she was speaking on how she was humiliated by Clive Davis, she seemed like she had cried so much that she wasn't going to cry anymore. But she was going to tell her story. But if that were me, people were body shaming me like that, and this is in the public, I think I would have crawled in a corner and remained stuck there. Because we all care about how we are viewed by other people. That's just natural. But beauty is in the eye of the beholder. D'Angelo saw the beauty in her, and she saw the beauty in him. And it was their love. Love comes from the heart. It's not always about appearances. And thank God for that agape love. Because it was so sad to think that her death could have been a hit. Like I said, speculating, I wasn't going to get too much into that. But some people are saying that this could have been a industry hit on her. I mean, after all, she was making videos exposing the industry and saying that they had been stealing her royalty, that she didn't get what she was supposed to be paid. But I don't understand why people get on social media and say what they plan to do. So that the people that you're threatening get a heads up so they can come after you. You're not supposed to let the right hand know what the left hand is up to. That's just wisdom. You don't do that. Like if you're threatening somebody, especially somebody as powerful as the music industry, you've seen in the past what has happened when other people have threatened the industry people at the top. They end up dead, just like Angie. But like I said, everything is alleged. It could have just been an accident, not planned at all. But either way, she's gone just the same. So I hope that that D'Angelo and Angie Stone, that D'Angelo will make peace with with her death, and realizing that you can't go back and change the past. But your son is here right now and he needs you. You need each other. So I'm just hoping that he will reach out